Good evening, guys. Am I audible? Is my screen visible properly? Yes, good evening. Sorry for what happened in previous class. We had a lot of technical issues. So we'll just continue with what or where we have stopped in yesterday's class, okay? Yes, good evening. Very good evening. Good evening, very good evening. So, how was your Sunday going? Everything fine? Can we just spend 1 hour on Amazon Web Services? Today is an important day because we are going to shift the gears, okay? So, in the start of this session, we'll just complete what we have to, like the pending in previous class. So, we want to discuss about the data structures we are having, like how are you going to store as SQL data, how are you going to store a non-SQL data or no SQL data, which means like semi-structured, and finally unstructured data. Okay, so with these three things, once we complete it, we are going to jump into like once again an introduction elaborately about what is machine learning, what are the steps involved in it, and what is a practical machine learning and how we are going to achieve it. Okay, so from today onwards, we are going to shift our gears into machine learning, and we'll be starting looking into Amazon Web Services Sagemaker, which is especially for this machine learning purpose. Okay, and today is an important day, so we'll start it freshly by continuing what we have left in previous class, and with that we'll try to move on to Sagemaker. So are we clear? Can we start, guys? Can I get thumbs up, guys, in chat box? Are you guys eager to start with machine learning using Sagemaker? Yes? Yes, good evening. So this is Amazon Web Services Machine Learning Operations with AWS Masterclass, and I welcome you all on behalf of pantechelearning to this day 5 of Machine Learning Operations with AWS. So continuing with the data storage and structures in the format. So the types of data formats usually available is of 3 types. So we have a structured data, which is like SQL databases, like you'll be having definite structure in it. We'll be having rows and columns. And when you go for semi-structured, where you cannot define it in the place of rows and columns, so what you'll be doing is we'll be having key and value pairs. Okay, in this way you can have some kind of structure, but it's not that proper, so it's called as semi-structured data. So for example, NoSQL databases. When you go for unstructured data, okay, there is no structurize, you cannot structurize it, where you need some kind of storage options to store, like for example, either it can be a photo or video or a CSV file or something like that. Okay, some kind of Excel files or Word document, and these things comes under unstructured data available. So when you start with structured data, Amazon Web Services are providing something known as relational database in AWS. So this is a relational database. So when you go for structured data, it is called as relational database. When you go for semi-structured data, it is called as non-structured or NoSQL database, non-relational database. Okay. So for relational database, it is called as Amazon Relational Database Service, and it is a SQL database service provided by AWS. It also helps with relational database management tasks, like we'll be having our CRUD operations right in databases. So we'll try to go hands-on, and before that, this RDS, they are providing the best of the scalability, best of the atomicity, durability, and availability all the time. Okay, by having multiple availability zone, by taking backup. Okay, they are providing these features for this RDS. So like for example, why they are giving this assurances. So if you have a company and if you want to store your relational data, you can like go with believe that AWS is good for you to store your data. So I think we can go with hands-on, guys. So can we try to like create or use RDS and try to connect it with MySQL workbench? So if you don't have any idea about Workbench or MySQL, then it will be like little bit difficult for you to understand. But if you have some basic knowledge about data, like database management or about SQL, where this will be easy for you to see whether how it's working. Okay, we'll try to go from base. So once again, we'll go into our console and let me search for RDS, which is Relational Database Service, and I can go into it. And please be carefully watch these things. Okay, if you want to repeat the same steps, you can do it, but there are certain few steps which is very important, guys. So if you are going to skip or if you haven't done that, it is going to show you error and you cannot connect it to your MySQL Workbench properly. Okay, so what is SQL? It is not a structured query language for storing the data. It's like for a database management. Okay, if a collection of data in some format, it is called as database, and SQL is a language for doing it, right? And MySQL, and we are having many types of like other things to support it. Okay, like MySQL, PostgreSQL, and so on. And this MySQL, it has some certain format of writing to use this database. And this MySQL, they provide an application which is called as Workbench, where you can connect to your database and work on it. Okay, like a platform to work on it. First, let us start with RDS. So to create a database, you can click it, or you can go and check this databases, where you can find whether you have a database. If you created a database, you can find it here. And there is no database currently right now here. So I can go and refresh it, nothing found. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a database. Okay, you can go and use this standard create option. And I'm going to go with MySQL. So these are the engine options, guys. Okay, so whichever SQL things you want, whichever database you are going to use, you can use it. For this example, I'm going with MySQL. Okay, so let it load, and the SQL version, you can select this too. And the template I'm going to use is free tier. For this practice purpose, you can also perform this free tier. Okay, and this is the name of it, and this master name. Okay, you should be careful. Okay, you just give it as admin, and we want to reproduce this details while logging into MySQL Workbench. So we want to also have something else. We'll try to adjust it. Okay, and this in this connectivity. Okay, see here you will be having an option for connectivity. So in that, make sure this is publicly accessible. Okay, then only you can access it from your Workbench. Okay, clear, guys? Yeah, well, let me just come again once again, guys. I'll just repeat it, so please watch it carefully. I'll just go with create database. I'll go with standard create. Here I'm going to select MySQL. Okay, and the version, fine. Template, I'll go with free tier, and it is admin is the username, and we are having the database name as database1. So is my screen visible, guys? It's clear, right? Yeah, and below that, in the credential details, you can create a password, a master password, and confirm that master password. Okay, so this is mandatory, then only you can log into your Workbench. So I can give some random password, guys. Okay, I'll just retype it. Okay, so this is the admin as the username, and I have my password. So this is used to log into this database. Okay, and the instance is db.t3.micro. And once again, what I have to do in connectivity, I have to go and click this publicly access, yes. Okay, and then rest of the things you can go and click this create database. Yeah, thanks for the confirmation. So if it's not visible for someone else, you can just increase your quality of YouTube. So if you have high quality, you can see this properly. So this is going to take some time, guys. So this needs some time to actually work on it. So then only it will be created, and once it is created, we can actually go and use it. So we'll wait for it to complete. In the meantime, we'll go and check some other else. Okay, so once it is completed, we'll go and try to use it. So we'll just see about NoSQL database in AWS. Fine guys, we'll start with Amazon DynamoDB. So for NoSQL database, like for relational database, they are providing RDS. So if you want to store your semi-structured data, you can go with NoSQL database, which is DynamoDB from AWS. So it's a fully managed serverless key value NoSQL. So as I told you earlier, semi-structured data is stored in the format of key and value pair. So DynamoDB is primarily a key value store in the sense that its data model consists of key value pairs and there is no schema, okay? So there is no particular like table column format here. You can just store unstructured or semi-structured data here. So they provide the same scalability, atomicity, durability and availability, okay? And we can go hands-on with DynamoDB also. So we'll wait for it to complete. So it's creating, guys. It is going to take you like 5 minutes, okay? So in the meantime, I'll create a new tab. We'll go with DynamoDB. So it's a NoSQL database. So what you can do is you can go and create a table. So that's how you can create or start using this DynamoDB. I'll click this create table and you have to give a name for it. For example, what name can we give, guys? Any suggestions? DynamoDB AWS, something like that, okay? And you can have a partition key. So how are you going to separate the things which you have in your key value pair? So I'm going to select something known as customer ID. So you can have it as a string or number. I'll just store it as a string, okay? So what is this partition key? When I create it, you can actually visualize it and you can understand what is this partition key. So how are you going to part it, okay? And we can go with these things, guys. This is enough. You can go and create a table, okay? So this will be quick, guys. Don't worry. It will be like created. Yeah, it's now active. So if you want to go and use this, you can go and click this DynamoDB. Okay, and it is showing me the name and all these things. So what you can do is you can go and click this actions, okay, actions, create item, okay. First we are creating something known as a table, so it will set up the template or the environment, okay. If you want to store some item, you can go into this actions and click this create item, okay. And what you can see in customer ID, this is a partition key which is going to separate. For example, for this partition key or this customer ID, I am going to store my first customer, so I'll enter a value of 1, okay. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a new attribute by clicking this. See here, add new attribute. So I can create many new attribute, okay, and I can store the values. For example, I'm going to just create a string, okay, and this is the key name, so I can give a new key value name. For example, let me give like first name, okay, and I can save some name here, value Virat, for example, okay. I'll add a new attribute. This is also a string, so I can store some other information. For example, second name, I'll go with Kohli, okay, and I'll add a new attribute string, okay. We'll just go with the number, okay, number. We'll go with age and I'll give some age here, okay. So this is a number. I'll add a new attribute which is a string, country, I'll go with India, okay. So what I can do is for this customer ID partition 1, these are the values I'm going to store. I can go and click this create item. So in my table, you can see here it is like this format. I have the customer ID 1, this is a partition key, I have all these details, okay. So what I can do, if I want to create another item, I can go with create item again. So here I am going to add 2, okay, this is for second one. So I'll add a string. So this guy, okay, he has only one name and he don't have any other name, okay. For example, his name is something like Shiva. He is don't having any second name, so I'm not going to add it, okay. I'll just give a string. So place, let me give it like he is from Maharashtra. Okay, so I'll add another string, country. Okay, and this is India. So I can create this item. So what you can see, so this is a semi-structured data. Okay, so that's what a semi-structured data is. When you are going to create like a table, okay, like when this relational database where we have relations and you cannot do like this. Okay, so here this is semi-structured and you can create whatever things you want, you can add it inside by creating key and value pairs. So this is how you can work with DynamoDB. So are we clear guys with DynamoDB, how to store things? Is it clear guys? So the table I can go and check. So I don't want this, so I'll just go and delete if I don't want it. Okay, you can just go and confirm. So our RDS is also ready now. So what we can do is we can shift here, and now it is backing up, and it means it's created. And we want to check one thing else guys. So what you have to do is you can go and check this VPC, where since we are going to use it from my laptop where I have this workbench. So what I'm going to do, I want to check whether it has HTTP permission or not. So in this security, you can go and use this default, you can click it. It will take you to the EC2 console where you have the security group, this particular group. Okay, and what you can do is you can use this group ID and you can edit the inbound rule. I have already added this. So if you don't have, you want to check whether this one is present. Okay, this is mandatory. Okay, all traffic custom. Okay, IP from anywhere, it's 0.0. This should be present. Okay, you can save the rule. I haven't made any change, but you want to verify whether it is there or not. Clear? So now we are ready to go. Our database is created. So what I can do is to connect with this database, I can go and use this endpoint. I should copy this endpoint guys. So where I'm having it, once you click this databases, once you click the name of it, you can go and find this endpoint. Okay, you can just copy it and you can open if you have this MySQL workbench. You can click it. We'll wait for it to open. Okay, so you can go and create a new connection here, and this link I want to use it in the place of host name, the endpoint which I have copied now. Okay, I'll just paste it here and the port is 3306. The connection name you can give, like for example RDS practice. Okay, and the username is admin. Remember when we have created, we have given password and the username, right? It is admin. And you can go like that's it guys. You can go and click this test connection. Okay, so now it's asking me for the password, so I can enter my password here which I have set it. Okay, so now the connection was successful guys. So what you can do, you can click OK. Now it's created, you can go and use it. Okay, this is my SQL workbench and it's connected to our RDS now. So what you can do, you can go and like create a new database. You can write query here. For example, I'll just go and create a sample database guys. Database in the name like customers. Okay, and like I'll just use this customers. Okay, we'll just try to run this. This is enough, right? So now if I refresh it, I can have this customers. It is a database created. Okay, and this is directly connected with our RDS. Okay, so using this endpoint link, you can actually manage it. Okay, so if you want to check whether it is working or not, you can, what you can do is like I'll just close this, or I'll just delete this connection. So now it's stored in our RDS, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just create a new connection by pasting the same link. I'll just give some other name, trial to something like that. okay, and the name of it is admin, and that's it. Yeah, we'll just test the connection, and it is asking me for the password. Okay, yeah, now connection made successful. So if I go and click this trial 2, which is now connected with the RDS, okay, any database you can use, whether it can be PostgreSQL or MySQL or Oracle. I have shown you right when I created RDS. So see here we have a customer database here. So whatever you are storing is now stored in that endpoint, and you can connect using that. Okay. So that's how you can work with this RDS. Okay. So once you are done with it, you can just go and delete or stop it entirely if you don't want to use it again. Clear? So finally, we want to see about the next thing, which is the unstructured data storage. Okay, and our main focus will be on Amazon S3. We have seen about Elastic Block Store. So for like creating EC2 instances, we have used this block storage, right? So it's for running OS applications, it will give the entire thing. When you go for S3, so this is what we are going to majoritarily use for our Python application or for machine learning in Sagemaker, because this is like a storage. Okay, so where we'll be storing, this is for unstructured data. Okay, we have our dataset files which is unstructured. So what we'll be doing is we can just store it in this S3, and later when we want to use it for machine learning purpose, we'll just call this S3 and use it. So that's how this S3 is going to helpful for us. So in the meantime, I'll just want to give you once again about this one. So if you are interested to convert this masterclass into 1 month certified internship on AWS machine learning operations, you can do it. This is a good opportunity. You will be getting 30 days of live session, 90 days of access to all these records, 6+ source codes with AWS projects, 30 downloadable presentations, 5 mentor live in mastermind sessions, which is a Zoom session where we both, like all the mentor and the students, can have direct interaction. You will get an internship confirmation letter and internship certification. So with coupon code of AWS MC1, you will be getting a discounted fee of 999. So the link is given below in the description. So if you want, you can opt for this opportunity, join as an internship user. And this will be available for few days only, so please make use of it. And these are the projects we are going to do in the later part of this internship. We will get all the code and downloadables, and we can go back with the contents, right? So we'll continue with our S3. Okay, so S3, it's important, guys. It's very simple. Usually it's available, like for example in some like debit cards or credit card, it's not applicable for like online transactions. Sometimes I used to get this error. So what you can do is you can try to get someone else's card or try to do the task. You can pay them, and that's what the only solution we can do if your card is not accepting. Fine. Yeah, so Amazon S3 is an object storage service. It's online, it's completely online. You'll be getting your like login details, so where you can go into our LMS and you will be having all the things. Okay, please wait. Today's attendance link, it's not available till now. Okay, there is time still now, so please wait for it. We are going for, if you click day 4 attendance, it will you go to that page only. So please wait till the end. They will be posting the day 5 attendance as soon as possible at the end of the class. Yeah, so you can store and protect any amount of data for a range of use cases. Okay, and you can have backup, archives, etc., and there are separate variety of it. And Amazon S3 is designed for this 11 nines. Okay, so it's of durability, and you can store the data of millions of customers all around the world. It is safe completely. Okay, and these are the S3 types, and our focus will be on S3 standard because this is what we are going to use, but there are some other things also based on the access. Okay, so if you are going to frequently access, this is the best thing you can store. And this Glacier, what they'll use to do is, this is for deep archive. if you want to store some unimportant thing, you just want to have a backup of it, you can go and use this S3 Glacier Deep Archive. This is for long-term archival data, and when you compare these things, they will differ in the cost and their properties. Okay. Clear? So I don't have any certificate sample right now, so I'll try to show it in next class. Actually, you don't lose like that. For example, even if AWS, for example, even if you use AWS and you got some amount actually, and what they will do is at the end of every month they are going to charge you the bill, and in many cases they won't automatically debit it, so you want to pay for it. Otherwise, if you leave it without paying, after some time they'll be blocking your account. So that's what happens. Without your knowledge, you won't lose any money. And I think we can go for S3 hands-on, guys. Just how to store the things and how to access it. We'll try to do it. Okay. Yes, you can register for the internship now. I think it's the link. It's not available right now, so they'll be sharing it. Yeah, the link is available in the description. You can check it. You can check the below where we will be having the fee detail and the payment link. You can join for the internship. Okay, we'll just go with S3. You can search for S3, simple storage service. They used to call it as bucket, guys. Okay, just for storing, you can have or create buckets where you can store the things. So I have many buckets right now here. See here. And what I can do is, if you want to create a bucket, this is a place for storing. Okay, you can go with this buckets. You can see this thing. You can go and click this create bucket. Okay, you can give a bucket name, but it should be unique. Okay, globally unique. Pantech AWS bucket. Okay, and yeah, so these things you just want to worry about it. We'll be seeing about bucket versioning later on. Not now. I don't want to confuse you with that. Okay, you can give a unique name and the region. It will be automated, and these things you can go with the primary version of it. Okay. And you can go and click this create bucket, so it's just going to create a storage for you. So yeah, Pantech AWS bucket is here. You can go and click it. Okay, and we have there is no files right now. You can upload and store your files. That's what this object storage is for, bucket. Okay, for example, so the last two projects is for end-to-end deployment. Yes, CI/CD pipeline with AWS. I'll just show you at the end of the session once again that slide. Okay, so we can go and click this upload where we can store our file. So this will take you this page. Okay, this is the destination or the path of this bucket. You can copy it, and later on you can use it for connect to your S3 to take your file. Okay, what you can do is you can go and click this add file. So you can search for a file. For example, if you have this heart disease data set. Okay, so this is a CSV file. Okay, this is a common machine learning data set format, file format. Okay, you can go and upload it. So this will be uploaded right away, and whenever you want to use it, you can use this bucket, and in this name Pantech AWS bucket, you will be having this hot.csv data set. Okay, so you can once again download it, or whenever you need, you can use this link. Okay, to take this thing. So that's how S3 is working. Clear, guys? You can store and retrieve any amount of data from anywhere. So it's time for us to go and start with machine learning, guys. So this is the main topic for today's class. Okay, so once again, so in the day one, I have given you some intro about what is machine learning. Even if you have previous idea or not, you don't have to worry about it. So can you guys tell me what is machine learning in one line? What is machine learning in one line? Can anyone of you describe? Tell me guys quickly, what is machine learning? So I have told you, right? So with the help of past data, we are going to use something known as algorithm, which will give us predictions. And this algorithm is nothing but it's a black box which is made up of just statistical things. Yeah, learn from past experience and provide your predictions. That's what this machine learning is. And once again, what is the hierarchy? What is artificial intelligence? What is machine learning? And what is deep learning? Artificial intelligence, it's the higher thing you can achieve where like it want to mimic human. So to achieve that, we are using something known as like machine learning. And in machine learning, a type you can go and describe it as subset, which is deep learning. Okay. Once again, AI is a branch of computer science that is concerned with building smart and intelligent machines. So artificial intelligence refers to the simulation of human intelligence that are designed to perform tasks like if you have like incorporated with OpenCV or image processing, it had visual perception. If you are using NLP or natural language processing, it would achieve speech recognition. For with the help of machine learning and deep learning, you can go with decision making so that collectively you can achieve this human intelligence, right? And machine learning is a subfield of artificial intelligence that focuses on the development of algorithm and statistical models that allow the computer to learn from and make predictions or decisions. And deep learning is a subset. We'll be seeing about deep learning for 2 days and a project, and it's inspired like to create neural networks inspired from human brain. And there are many applications of machine learning, guys. It's one of the interesting field. We'll be having all these things in machine learning like automatic language translation, medical diagnosis, stock market trading. It's called as time series analysis, stock market, something like that. Online fraud detection, virtual personal assistant, email or spam, like you can spam or normal mail, you can check it. You can train the model and it will give you prediction later on, okay? Like self-driving cars using OpenCV or image processing using deep learning. Product recommendations, traffic prediction, speech recognition, image recognition, and so on. Lot of applications are there. And what is the simple step of machine learning? Till now we haven't opened about machine learning operations, so don't worry about it. The steps in machine learning is you will be having a data, okay? You will be having a data which you are going to clean and prepare the data, because this data, okay, it's from public and it's not that much correct. You may have some improper things there. You want to clean it, analyze it, and you want to do some processing. So once you are done with it, you can give it to your machine learning algorithm or model. So what it will do, it will learn, right? And what you can do is you can give a test for it. Once it is learned, you can give a test and check whether it is performing well or not. Just like schools, we used to like teach the students and give them test, right? So that's what we are going to do with this model, and we'll be comparing whether it is good or not. If it's bad, you want to come back and like do some more processing or change the model and improve your accuracy. And when you go for machine learning operations, it's a core function of machine learning engineering focused on streamlining the process of taking machine learning models to production and then maintaining and monitoring them continuously. So it's a collaborative function. Like we used to help, like we'll be using the tools of DevOps engineers along with this machine learning. So in machine learning operation, you'll be having the data, you'll create a model, okay, you'll package it, you'll configure, and you will keep on monitoring. Whatever changes you are doing, the model should like will be creating automation where it will run automatically and give you a result whether it is success or failed. So that's what the achievement we are going to achieve with this ML ops. And what is the types of machine learning, guys? We'll be having 3 types. One is known as supervised machine learning. So the next one is known as unsupervised machine learning, and the third one is known as reinforcement learning. So there are 3 types of machine learning. One is supervised machine learning, next one is unsupervised, and third one is reinforcement. So what is the supervised machine learning? So if your data is labeled, for example, like you will be like, this is your data, for example, you will be having like a hexagon, square or triangle mixed, okay, and you are having labels. For example, this one is hexagon, this one is triangle, this one is square. If you have this label, okay, like what is what, So what you are going to do, you are going to train the model. If this is this, if you got this, this is known as hexagon. If you got this, this is known as square. If you got this, this is known as triangle. So the model will train, okay, it will learn. Training is something like learning. And then we are going to give a test for it, which is known as prediction. Okay, what is prediction? We will be giving test for it. Training is called as learning or model learning, and the prediction is something like giving test for it. So we will be having some test data. So I will be having some other new data where I will be having this. I'll just give it to the model and I'll ask it to predict whether what it is. So it should give me correctly based on this past data. So if you have label, it is called as supervised machine learning. Right? When you go for unsupervised machine learning, and one thing guys, in supervised machine learning, we have two types. In supervised machine learning, this labeled data, we will be having two types, and one is known as classification, another one is known as regression. So what is this classification? What is this regression? What is mean by classification? You want to classify either this or that, or if you have given a three choice, you want to select which one it is. For example, this is a classification problem. You are going to classify either the output is a square or a triangle or a hexagon. Okay. So if someone asks, like if you are training a model based on the weather condition, you are going to predict whether it is cold or hot tomorrow, okay, or today with your data. If it's a categorical label, okay, we are having label, right? This label, if it is categorical, what is category? You have separate categories like cold or hot or like mild, something like that. These things are known as category. And if the output or the label is categorical data, it will come under classification problem. So the model should predict either this or that. Or if you have three options, it should predict either one of it. In this 3 or 4 or 5, it should take either one, any one. When you go for like in regression, what is classification? It will like categorical data is the label. When you go for regression, it is continuous data, which means you will be training on continuous values. Okay, like here you are going to predict the temperature, so it's not like this or that, it's a value. Okay, like for example, another type of problem is using regression, you can predict what is the salary prediction, something like that. Okay, and something like stock market data. Okay, it's known as time series analysis. In the stock market, you will predict what is the value. Okay, if it's a continuous value, it is called as regression. If it's a categorical value, it's called as classification. So in the types of machine learning, we have supervised, unsupervised and reinforcement learning, where supervised has two types, which is classification and regression. In unsupervised machine learning, we don't have any label. Okay, we'll try to find a cluster or relation between them. For example, if I give this data, based on the data, our model or algorithm should try to find relations between them and try to group them like this. If I have this given this star or square or circle, it is just going to group them based on the features it is having. Okay. When you go for reinforcement learning, it is like a feedback mechanism. So whether we will be having an interpreter and an agent, if the action is correct, we will be getting a reward, that agent. If it failed, we are going to send it back to learn more. Okay, it's like improving on its own. And these are the types of machine learning. And can we start with Amazon Sagemaker, guys? Can we start with Amazon Sagemaker? What is Sagemaker? Once again, remember I have keep on telling this Sagemaker, this is the thing which we are going to spend our rest of the 25 days. Today is day 5, right? Clustering is grouping them actually, like this. What is this? Like you can find relationship between them and try to group them, which are all closely related, you can group them. So that's what known as clustering. To make clusters based on how they are related, similar things. Yeah, correct. Sayara, correct. Yeah. So today is day 5, right? So remaining 25 days we will be mostly spending on Amazon Sagemaker. And any one of you have any idea what is known as IDLE or IDE? IDLE, IDE, any idea what is the full form of it? Tell me, guys. What is IDE? It is known as integrated development environment. Have you heard about it? What is IDLE? Integrated development and learning environment. Yeah, Debasis Bhaskar, these are some of the algorithms, name of the algorithms. So when we see about the basic things, once we go into that algorithm, we'll be seeing about all the things and what is the math behind it, something like that. Okay. Yeah, IDE is integrated development environment. Yeah, Python IDE, something like that. IDLE is for learning purpose also. Okay. And what is this thing actually is? It is a place where you can perform or write your code and see your result and do stuffs like that. No classification, you will be having labeled data where you will be training on it. But in clustering, you will, based on the data, the model will try to find relationship between them. Yeah, so Sagemaker, it provides the entire service, guys. So Sagemaker is a managed service from AWS. So that simplifies the process of building, training and deploying machine learning models. It provides a complete set of tools and resources for data scientists and developers to develop and deploy ML models at scale. And this Sagemaker also provides IDE for us to perform or write code. Okay. Do you guys have or worked with notebook, which is Jupyter notebook? So this Jupyter notebook have been like integrated with Amazon Web Services and they are providing their service in this Sagemaker. So what we can do is we can just go and directly explore our Sagemaker, right? Can I get thumbs up, guys? Amazon Sagemaker. So you can go and explore the Sagemaker. You can build, train and deploy machine learning models at scale. So this is a machine learning workflow. We'll be discussing about it. They provide all the services, guys. So which means you don't want to actually write code. Okay, you can use this thing and you can perform that. And what we will be doing in this later 25 days is we'll be seeing how to write code and achieve that. And then we'll be seeing how to use Amazon Sagemaker to achieve that without code. So that's how our agenda is. Okay. So you'll be seeing how to do it on your own and how to use Sagemaker to do it parallelly. So this will go on parallelly. So in tomorrow's class, we'll be seeing about Pandas library to work with the data and pre-process it. And day after tomorrow, we are going to use something known as Glue ETL to perform the same task without code. Okay. And in Sagemaker, you can go and click the studio. It's a fully integrated development environment for machine learning. Okay. And you can prepare your data, build it, train and tune it, deploy and manage it. Entire thing for DevOps or MLOps is available here in Sagemaker. Yeah, same with like Google Colab and Jupyter Notebook. There is not much difference, guys. It's like same. You just the visual will be different, okay, but the activities behind is same. You just can work with it. And some of you guys, if you don't have any AWS account, you can go and use the Studio Lab. You can just directly search it. So you can request for an account. You don't have to pay or use any card details for this. You can search for, please note it down, Sagemaker Studio Lab. So learn and experiment with machine learning, but this is not machine learning operations. You can just do the basic machine learning. Okay, you can get the notebook. You will be like, it's completely free. You don't need to have any AWS account. Okay, and you can just get your CPU or GPU and try to use it. Today's attendance link will be posted, guys. Please wait. And if you want, you can use this. No, the thing is, you can use Colab for learning the basics of machine learning. But if I go and use or teach you about machine learning operations integrated with Sagemaker, how are you going to perform? So that's why you need to use this Sagemaker Studio. And with Sagemaker Studio Lab, you cannot go with that high level. Okay, you can just do the basic machine learning here. And you can request for an account. They will send you a mail like within 1 day, and you will be getting your login details and try to use it. And if you want, like, we can just get started. You can see, you can go and use this notebooks here, the processing jobs, the training and all things are here. So first, we are going to see this about 25 days, right? So we'll be exploring all the part of it. So what we are going to do, Just now, to learn about the basics of machine learning and the essence of it, we need something known as notebook, right, to perform like Python codes for machine learning. So what you can do is in Sagemaker, you can search for this notebook where you can get this notebook instances. So you can go and click it to create a notebook instance. So I already have a practice notebook. Now it's stopped. Okay. So what I'm going to do, if you are newly using, you won't be having any notebook instance currently running, right? You can go and click this create notebook instance. You can give a name for it, MLOps practice. Okay, we can select the instance type. I'll just go with ml.t3.medium, and remember guys, this is free tier, you can use it. If you are going to use any other instance type, please be careful. If you are using, you may have to pay for it. Okay, and I'll just give it with Jupyter Lab 3, let it be. And with the IAM role, I already have it. So if you are newly using, you can go and click this create a new role. See, once again, I have given a name for it. Okay, you can select the instance type. In the permission and encryption, you can go and click this IAM role and create a new role. So it will ask for this IAM role where you can specify if you want to use S3 bucket anything, you can go and click this any S3 bucket. So this any S3 bucket, what it is defining is, so as I told you earlier, S3 bucket is for storage, right? So we'll be storing our data sets there. And if you need to use any, like you can, if you click this any S3, then you can go and use any of the S3 to take and use your data sets. I'll just go with any S3 and create a new role. So it will create a new role and it's successfully created, and this is the name of it. So if you want to add permission, then you have to use this role, which is available in IAM, right? You can add some additional things. And the next thing is, like, you can go and check for if you have any GitHub repository, you can add it here, you can clone or connect it. And that's it for guys. Finally, you can just go and click this create notebook instance. So this is going to take some time to create it. It's pending. So in the meantime, we'll just go and see this once again. So if you want to convert this masterclass into an 1-month certified internship on AWS machine learning operations, you can do it. You'll be getting these benefits, 30 days of live sessions and 90 days of access to this records. So it will be a different version. Okay, not this certain version. You'll be getting a different versions of video, and you'll be getting 6+ source codes of AWS projects, all the 30 downloadable PPTs and other downloadable things, 5 mentor live and mastermind sessions, internship confirmation letter and internship certification. To avail this, you can use this link which is given in the description, and if you are using this coupon code of AWS MC1, you'll be getting a discounted fee of 999. And these projects are basic machine learning projects. You'll be getting the code of it, both of these, and this is a image classification project. You'll be getting code of that. This is a natural language processing project, and last these two are deployment projects. In AWS, you will be getting the code for that too. Clear? And I think we can go back with the thing. Yeah, in Sagemaker, we'll just try to see whether it is created or not. Okay, it's creating. We'll wait for it to complete. And again, in the meantime, what is the workflow of machine learning? So please listen guys, this is important. What is the workflow of machine learning? So based on this workflow, this is not for machine learning operations. First you want to learn and achieve this machine learning. Then we are going to convert that into machine learning operation later on. Okay. And what is the workflow? First you want to collect the data. Okay. If you are trying to do some project, you want to collect some data. As I told you earlier, this data may or may not be correct. Then you want to pre-process it. Okay, pre-processing is like you want to correct it and verify whether it is correct or proper, and it may have some other features, so you want to select which are the important features for my machine learning prediction. And then we'll be using something known as train test split. As the name itself suggests, what is training? Learning. What is testing? To give a test for it, right? So we are going to split our data for training and testing purpose, and we'll be choosing an algorithms. We want to learn about algorithms, so we'll be like giving this training part to the algorithm, where in prediction we are going to give a test with this test part, and finally we'll be evaluate and improve it. This is the entire workflow, and in tomorrow's class we'll just see with the data collection how to do it, and starting with pre-processing we'll just start with Pandas library. Just refresh your Python, basic Python things. Okay, we are not going to use any complex things, guys. Just basic things is enough to learn about Pandas, and we'll kickstart with it. And please don't go, guys, we still have things to complete here. Now it's in service. This MLOps practice notebook instance is in service. You can go and click this open Jupyter. No, this is a 30 days internship, there is no extension. And what you can see is a Jupyter notebook instance. Okay, this is the IDE for you to perform, learn and do stuffs, guys. Okay, so what you can do is, if you want to create or work on it, you can go and create a notebook. So what I can do is, I can go and click this new, and I'll just select Python, Conda Python 3. So now it will create me a blank notebook, Jupyter notebook, and you can see it, this untitled thing, it is stored here, and this green symbol is telling it is running right now. This one is running, okay, and it will connect to the kernel. Just like in Google Colab, we want to connect to the server, right? So now it's ready. So what I can do, I can just write some basic Python code. For example, starting with a classical hello world. Hello world, okay. Yeah, you can use it Anaconda Navigator to use Jupyter Notebook, but you cannot use any AWS services, guys. So that's why, like, that is the thing, is a disadvantage. So right now we'll be seeing about Pandas, NumPy, you can see it. But when I teach you about the AWS services, for example, instead of doing with Pandas, we'll be going with Glue ETL and AWS Wrangler, which without code you can do those tasks. So how, like in that case, you cannot use Anaconda, right? So did you got my point? And once you are completed, like we'll be exploring it, guys. So once you are completed with it, so it's mandatory to close and halt this. Okay, see here in the instance, in the home, you can see whichever it is running. So this one is running, you can shut it down here, or you can go and click it here, close and halt. I'll just leave now, because when we see or learn about Pandas, we'll just explore it more. Okay, guys. So now there is no notebook running, and we have our file here. Okay, you can quit, you can log out directly. So if you log out, this is in service. So if you are not using it, what you can do is, you can go and click this, and in the actions you can just stop it. So whenever you want, you can click the start and open the notebook. Which yesterday's note you didn't receive? Is it for internship user? I think it's uploaded, the videos and the PPT. Use of notebook is, it is a place where we are going to write our code. It is of the format of .ipynb Python notebook, where we can write our Python code. So with Python we are going to write the machine learning stuffs. Clear? So once you are done with it, you can just stop it. And that's it, guys. With tomorrow's class, we'll just start with the data collection, and we'll be jumping into like libraries necessary, starting with Pandas for pre-processing the data. So it's like we'll be starting with the data collection and data pre-processing with Pandas. So we are going to kickstart with the machine learning workflow. Okay, data collection and pre-processing with Pandas. So I'll see you tomorrow's class, guys. Thank you. Thanks for watching. And if you want to be an internship user, please make use of this opportunity and note down this coupon code. Yeah, if you don't want, you can terminate it. Yesterday's PPT, like, is it for internship user? Like, you can use for machine learning stuff, you can use it, but for machine learning operations, you cannot do it with any other IDE, guys. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in tomorrow's class.